I'm Joe Nicholson. I play running back for the Manchester Titans adult contact team, and this is my player profile. So I always knew I wanted to play, but I wasn't really sure how to get into it. I played different sports like soccer, rugby. I was involved in athletics, basketball, so various different sports throughout early kind of sporting career, if you like. Then my brother started playing American football. He played for the Leeds Bobcats juniors team. I wanted to play at the same time, but I remember quite specifically him saying, "You're not allowed to because you will be better than me." So it was a case of I had to wait until I went to university, joined the UCLan Rams at that point in the first year, and it just started from there. Never looked back. So first practice at UCLan Rams, I remember going along, not really knowing much about the sport. I remember going to pick my kid up and being asked, what position do you want to play? And just saying, well, I want to run with the ball. I want to catch the ball. So I didn't really know the positions back then. And there was quite a pivotal moment in training where there was a one-on-one drill. I was a receiver. Sam Bloomfield was a DB at that point. And he wanted some aggression. He headbutted me, brought out some aggression, and I think that was a real kind of a turning point within me just playing football in general. Then going from kind of being a receiver to then playing running back, it's kind of decided that actually you'd be better suited for running back. Decided that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Work towards increasing my athleticism, putting on a little bit of size over the years, trying to figure out what it was to be a running back. So I played for UCLan to begin with. In the summer season the summer of my first season, played for Leeds Bobcats juniors. We got all the way to the national final. Couldn't field the team because there was that many of us injured, unfortunately. Then went back to UCLan, and then the following kind of summer season was playing for Lancashire Wolverines. Played a couple seasons of Lancashire Wolverines in between UCLan, and then eventually just thought, okay, there's a time now where things, for me, if I want to progress, need to change. I wasn't really getting the reps that I wanted. Wasn't really kind of seeing the action that I wanted. And I think as a group of us moving to Manchester Titans at the same time, it was just a really good move for me, for everybody involved. And ultimately it's, allowed us to evolve as a team, build the program, benefit us, but also kind of benefit quite a few other players as well. So why Manchester? I think it's something that you can just tell there's a hunger there. When you're part of the team, you can tell for the people that have been there for quite a while. The team's been around for 20 years now. You can tell that people obviously want to succeed and really do care about it. There's, yes, a bit of banter there and some friendship as well, but there is that hunger to succeed and progress. And I think the way in which the overall program, not just the adult team, but the overall program has progressed over the last few years is really, really something really interesting. There's a sense of pride with it, but it's not just a case of the team itself. It's kind of, the city of Manchester. There's a lot of pride there and a lot of culture. It's just a great place to be. Favorite game of my career, I'd say, is probably in 2018. I think it's 2018. I always get the years confused. Don't read into that too much. That would be against Nighthawks at home. It was a game for which I remember scoring 3 touchdowns, and I just felt really in the zone. And you might hear people talk about being in the zone sometimes, but when you're in it, you can feel it, and things just move differently. But the touchdown for which really stands out for me in that game is a toss read play, and going out to the right hand side, knowing that I'm going to get some traffic, and just putting my foot in the ground to push off and jump over. I was expecting one guy, but I ended up jumping over 2 guys and finding my way into the end zone. Not in the best way possible, but still managed to get in there. That was probably my standout play for the game, but I think the entire game in general, for me, just felt really good. And I got a fair amount of praise afterwards from people that were watching and the players as well, so that was nice. I found this a difficult question because I never really think about it for too long, but there is one individual that stands out. There's a few actually, now I've come to think about it. Rio, who used to play for Nighthawks. I always kind of think about him going into those games and just thinking, I need to stay away from that guy. But then now he's played for us, even in training, obviously. Well, I face him more often now. But then people like Cade as well. And there was quite a standout moment when I first joined the Titans, not with Cade, unfortunately, I'll mention somebody else now. When I first joined the Titans, of Okies quite early on within the season and coming up against Big Charlie. And I just remember thinking, after that hurt, and that didn't turn out in the way I intended it to be either. So, yeah, 3 people mentioned, but I think Rio's the standout out of the 3. So it seems a bit of a classic one to be expected. You know, the national final this year, immense. I didn't play in the way I wanted to play, but that's besides the point. I think getting that perspective was actually quite good, actually. Being able to see everybody else perform at the highest level, things going really well, getting the feel from the crowd as well. But after the game, I think that was something special for me, just being able to go away, let it sink in a little bit, you know, at the hotel, just relaxing, and then meeting up to go for some food, for some drinks, and just seeing everybody really enjoying themselves and celebrating, and just being able to kind of reflect back on the year and talk about, you know, what might be next and how we've come this far. That was just pretty special for me. First word, awesome. It's not something that I expected. It's something that I worked towards, but it's not necessarily something I expected, mainly because I came back to play American football with the intention of helping Titans win a national final, but to have then the GB side of things as well, it's like the cherry on the cake, really. It's tough, really is tough from the trials, being selected from the trials. I knew that it was going to be hard work, and it's not something you can switch off from either. Even between practices, you know, you've really got to be in the playbook, revising the playbook, going through things, asking questions. And then when it comes to the training sessions, special teams, team on air, the actual scrimmages, it's just 100% all the time, which I like. But like I said, it's tough as well. But overall, it's awesome. I would say Fossey. That guy, will give a bit of an explanation. That guy's kind of been a bit more to me than a teammate, you know, a real good friend as well. Somebody that I've travelled with to plenty of different practices this year, so we've just become really close. So Fossey. Probably Sam Bloomfield. I'm pretty sure he's been mentioned before in these videos, Cooper. I don't know, there's just something about him where he's probably not even done anything that good, but he just reckons he has, and I kind of let it slide, but yeah, it does annoy me a little bit. Coops. I'd say probably Sam Bloomfield, and I think the only reason he is the smartest is because of the hard work and the time that he puts in. And I know just through speaking to him and speaking to other people, the level of commitment he makes to kind of get the job done, if you like. Chris Peel, I like the guy. I feel like me and him get along pretty well, but it's just like, yeah, all or nothing. And there's a dopiness to that when he's going all or nothing. Best vibes. I would have said DK, but I just find that the annoying side of DK overshadows that. I'm probably going to say Googie, actually. He's just nice. And even when he's a kid, he's nice about it. Now, I know somebody said me, so I can't say that. But I'd probably say George Slade. even when he's messaging in the group chat, you know, he's been just dead grumpy and he's probably in a corner somewhere sulking. I said Tika, actually. You know, she's nice, talks to everybody, approachable, gives people compliments. You know, something's gone well done. So I'd say Tika. Tyler. I'm just gonna say Tyler because I couldn't think of anybody else. So Tyler. I feel like since seeing him towards the end of the year, Shaq. I didn't really know him that well, but Shaq. Difficult. There's definitely a few, because, you know, we wouldn't be the team that we are without that, but I'd have to say Fossey again. Scott Higgins. Yeah, that guy's reliable. Scott. It's more the aftermath, I think, rather than actually the drinking. Scott. Charlie. Some of the chants, I think sometimes, when you're in the chant, it probably seems really cool, but when you can hear a chant from another team, sometimes it's a bit too cringy. So I'd say the chants. Dynamic. Relentless. There's too many. Mysterious. Not a paleontologist. I wanted to be a stuntman, so kind of, I almost feel like that there's a bit of a carryover from playing American football to being a stuntman. Bellevue. Leicester Forest Services. Oh. I know the correct order, but it's not a case of I actually do the correct order. Boil the kettle, that's important. You don't want cold water. I've done that before. Put the tea bag in the mug. Pour the boiling water into the mug. Let it sit for a little bit. Maybe jiggle it around if you need to, stir it. Take the bag out, pour the milk in. If you want sugar, put the sugar in. If you want milk, put the milk in. Probably milk. Most people would have milk with a regular tea. But I know some people that don't. So that would be my order. Okay, so this is my first top three play. And this is against, obviously, Tamworth at home. Second game of the season for us. First game of the season for them. I think this is quite an important point within the game because we're down. We wanted to really kind of angle the season, so we're not doing that throughout the season. We wanted to make sure that we are leading in all the games where possible. So this was a point for which we could take the lead. Speed option play. There's been a few plays prior to this where we tried that in a way. We tried some kind of plays going around the outside as well. But I think here, being able to just get the distance, the right distance, Sam nicely drawing in the defense there. But being able to get out wide, even though it's the narrow side of the field, we've got some good blocking by the receivers. The O-line are getting out there early as well. And then I knew that number 57, I think it's 57, was going to come down hard because he was doing that like all game early on. So a quick little sidestep, shrugged him off. I knew he wasn't then going to be able to hold on because he just had too much momentum. Nice block from the O-line. And then I think is it 91 there? Yeah, I knew he was going to come, but I thought he might have got there a little bit better. And then it was just a case of Statue of Liberty into the end zone. I could feel it. I knew it was going to happen. It was an important part of the game. And then the celebrations. So yeah, that's my first top three. Okay, so second top three here, we've got an inside run, but we've got a little jet coming across first. This is the start of the second half. I knew that we had so much more to give, I just wasn't expecting it to be that easy, to be completely honest. But this is another one of those players where you just kind of in the zone. I think the defense in the secondary got a little bit confused as to who's going to actually tackle me. The effort wasn't really put in, I don't think, to make the tackle. A little bit of a kind of lunging, diving tackle, but not enough to beat the high step. And then, as you can see, Sam in the backfield there, just pointing to the sky, knew it was a touchdown. And the nice thing about this one is my family were there in the end zone. So mother, father, partner, daughter, my brother and his family as well. So it was nice to be there. I think Corey's dad loved the celebration as well. So yeah, great play. Worked to a T. I think the jet draw, it drew probably one of the defenders across just enough to kind of change his pace almost. But then, like I said, just wasn't enough to keep up, and it was a good foot race to the end zone. Okay, so this is my final top three against Nighthawks at their place. And in this particular point in the game, we've not actually scored yet. So I'm out on the right-hand side in empty. Prior to this, we just called a timeout, and I was brought on for this play. And then nice little screen pass, waiting for the ball. And then I knew where I was going, straight through the blocks. Unfortunately for some individual, he thought it was a good idea to try and tackle me going into the end zone. It didn't pay off for him. And it was the first touchdown of the game, second touch of the ball for me. And if we go to the kind of end zone view, then you can see, I think Sam knew straight away what kind of play it was going to be, that the ball was going to me. I waited quite patiently for it. I knew Owen was going to be there to make that first block, quite crucial. But then look at the receivers, Fresh and Kurt getting some great blocks there. Fresh's guy coming over a little bit, but not enough. And then somebody had to sit down. Now, just to show the social media angle for this particular play, you can see just how the play evolves. Good kind of perspective on the angle and the gap there. And then again, unfortunately for that guy, he just wasn't expecting it. I don't think he realised that, once the touchdown's there, I'm going for it no matter who's there. And he had to, I don't know if he returned to the game. He definitely spent a little bit of time out. But nice to score early, nice to score with a second touch of the ball that game for me. And then it was pretty plain sailing from there.
I initially wanted to try out at running back. I assumed you just got the ball and ran anywhere as long as it was downfield and you didn't get tackled. Apparently, American football's not played like that, and there's more to it. Who knew?